Hey everyone, Gil Gross here. This is a pre-match thoughts video on the 2019 Wimbledon final, Novak Djokovic versus Roger Federer. Hello from Florence, Italy. I have a cappuccino this morning, and things are great. Looking forward to this match tomorrow. Should be happening in about 24 hours time. Djokovic going for number 16, Federer going for number 21. So the way I'll do this, I'll make an argument, I guess, for both sides, and then I'll tell you which way I'm going here. And I'll start with some arguments for Roger Federer. So one, in the semifinal, Federer's form was better. Federer was more impressive against Nadal than Djokovic was against Roberto Bautista Agut. Uncharacteristically so, I would say that Djokovic, who normally does a good job of getting better and better as the tournament goes on, maybe perhaps playing one of his worst matches against RBA. I wouldn't say it probably wasn't his worst match of the tournament, but it certainly didn't seem like he was peaking at the end of the tournament. Federer, on the other hand, plays certainly his best match because if you were going by form, Nadal came in better form than Federer based on the prior matchups. And if you think about what we're used to seeing from Djokovic, if you think about, let's say, the Luca Pouille semifinal from the Australian Open, clearly that was a match where Djokovic was obviously peaking at the end of that tournament. And the semifinal we just saw against RBA wouldn't really suggest that. That's the first thing. The second thing is something tactical that I think Federer can do to Djokovic to great effect. And probably played a big role in Federer's 2012 win over Djokovic at Wimbledon. By the way, Djokovic riding a 4-match win streak against Federer at majors. But I think on grass, Federer is able to exploit the weak part of Djokovic's backhand. Djokovic is not all that comfortable moving north-south and moving into the court, moving forward and hitting a low topspin backhand. So when he has to, when Federer hits either a short backhand slice, or we saw him with great effect use actually his topspin forehand but keep it short and low intentionally when he was playing Nadal. If he can do that, he can either make Djokovic go to the slice, and Djokovic does not have as much feel on that shot as the others, or he could put Djokovic in a position where he's probably hitting a pretty attackable cross-court backhand. And then Federer can look to use his amazing footwork, especially on grass. He can look to run around and go inside in. So I think that Federer has the ability to make Djokovic hit one of his least favorite shots, especially on his backhand wing. Again, it's when he has to move inside the court to hit a low backhand. And he can go slice. It's not a great shot for him. Or he can kind of hit that uncomfortable topspin backhand when the ball's at his ankles and he's moving forward. It's a tough shot. Now let's go to Djokovic. I mentioned that he's on a 4-match win streak against Federer. I think, at majors that is, I think a big reason for that, and the big reason for Djokovic's general success against Federer since 2011, where he's gotten the better of the matchup, a lot of it is his depth. I think that Djokovic's depth is a major weapon against Roger Federer, because Federer and what he likes to do with his court position, he has to hit a lot of half volleys. And the nature of Federer hitting a half volley from the baseline is that he really can't take the full cut he wants. And Djokovic, he's getting an attackable ball on the next shot. The second thing Djokovic does, which I don't think is documented enough, is he likes to pepper the backhand just as much as Nadal likes to pepper the backhand. It's more people talk about it with Nadal and his heavy topspin forehand cross-court. But Djokovic does it more so with his precision, more so with his heavy forehand close to the sideline, making Federer move laterally and hitting his backhand, and hoping that Federer goes to his slice, especially on better surfaces, if you can really pull Federer out wide. And if you can do that repeatedly, and Djokovic is very good at just pinning Federer in that backhand corner and kind of just being relentless there and waiting for the error. And a lot of the times the error does come. Djokovic can be very patient with that. Now you could say, well, Federer's backhand was so good against Nadal, and especially in the third set, that strategy didn't work for Nadal. Nadal was trying to exploit the Federer backhand, and it wouldn't crack. I do think that Djokovic will have more success attacking the Federer backhand than Nadal had. Because on grass, and specifically on grass, Nadal's heavy topspin sits up perfectly for Federer. It bounces up high, but not too high, so Federer can come over it and hit his flat backhand coming over the ball, shoulder level. With Djokovic, flatter ball, less net clearance. It's a lot lower. So instead of coming over the ball, Federer actually has to come under the ball and hit topspin and brush up. And in my opinion, it's a less effective backhand. He either needs to do that or he needs to slice it. And what we see with the slice is if it's not perfect, it's a problem. And if Djokovic is able to run around and hit the forehand, it's a problem. I think when Federer slices, as long as Djokovic is hitting backhands, it's A-okay for Federer. It's when Djokovic has the time to hit a forehand where he can get a little bit more racket speed, and it's just a more potent shot. Maybe not a better shot, but a more potent shot. I think that Djokovic is in good shape. So Federer needs to make sure that when he slices, he gets it to the Djokovic backhand. And the way to do that is to keep him off balance, to go down the line plenty. The last thing I'll say is the return of serve, which is going to be better than it was by Nadal yesterday. Djokovic will return serve better. And that's been a big problem for Federer against Djokovic, is that there are games where Djokovic locks into the Federer serve and Federer gets absolutely nothing out of his serve. Where Federer makes first serves and it doesn't matter because it still comes back right at his feet. And that's a massive problem for Federer. What Djokovic will ask Federer to do is play the kind of consistent baseline clutch tennis that he played against Nadal in the third and fourth sets. And that is just simply not the norm for Federer. For Federer to have to channel that once again is a lot to ask. So all in all, I weigh all these things, and I think that Djokovic wins this in 4 sets. I say it pretty confidently. I'm picking it pretty confidently. Normally when I say 5 sets, it doesn't mean I think it's going to be a 5-setter. It means I'm having trouble with the pick and I'm not really sure which way to go. When I say 3 sets, usually it means I don't think it's going to be that close. When I say 4 sets, I think it's going to be pretty good tennis. I think it's going to be close, but I'm pretty confident in my pick. So 4 sets, Novak Djokovic, and I will see you after the final. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.